Hey guys, Ricky. I'm back in another video, and today I thought to myself, since everything is good with Naomi is champion, my clients are cool, Roman is back, but I thought to myself, instead of doing a rambling, we're gonna talk about my other client that is getting mismanaged, mishandled. I am just not appreciating it, and we're gonna talk about Carmelo Hayes, as you guys can tell by the title. Now, of course, I think if you have been watching my videos for a very long time, you already know I've been talking about Carmelo Hayes for a long time because for some reason we're talking about the same things, the same issues. He's not getting used properly. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. He's not getting used properly, and the whole let's let it cook, let's let it ride out. Like, no. Why do I have to let it cook for Carmelo Hayes? You don't let it have to. We don't have to let it cook for other superstars. Why? Like, with his talent. Let's be real. With his talent, I think with a lot of other people, there is like, okay, they have to get their stuff going. They have to get their groove. They have to find themselves. But Carmelo Hayes, he hasn't had to find himself for real. He's already came in the game having a good character that could, go against anybody. I think, or like he had the confidence to rival anyone. And we've seen in the ring, he's able to do that as well in the ring against people that are legends, those who are veterans, future Hall of Famers. He's stood his ground for a lot of people. And I do understand that they see the ability in Carmelo Hayes. Like, don't get me wrong. It's no coincidence that he's went against Sami Zayn, not Roman Reigns. I want him to go against Roman Reigns. Jimmy Uso, Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes, his first night, Cody Rhodes. But what is that doing for me now? I agree with the whole thought. Like, a lot of the fans are, what are you doing for me now to talk about it? Which I'm not normally, but in this situation, I am going to be. I'm going to sound a little impatient. I am going to sound a little irritated because when I'm looking at other NXT call-ups, even when they're still in NXT, I'm gonna be real. So Ruka, she's still in NXT. She's looking good, being presented very well, and she's a homegrown talent. Like, because I know, like, I'm going to talk about Julia, I'm going to talk about Stephanie, so I know the conversation of they've already solidified themselves outside of WWE. I get that. I understand that. But Carmelo Hayes solidified himself in NXT. Not only did he solidify himself, but he showed what he adds to a product. He shows the personality he brings and how he could, the show can benefit from him having a bigger role, and even seeing his ability and his skill. I think the height, that whole thing is a bunch of BS. It's a bunch of BS. Like, don't bring up Carmelo Hayes' height to me ever, because if they wanted to make it work, they would make it work. Like, y'all talk about, no, he is built to be like a superstar, so the whole height thing, out the window. Because even when you see him in person, it doesn't give shorty. It doesn't give short king. No disrespect, because I'm short. But it doesn't give short king. No, it doesn't do that. So that whole, if you bring that up with me, I'm not going to care. Your argument out the window. Because that's not, I don't feel like that's a factor. I don't feel like that's a factor at all. Like, let's bring up the fact. He had a bomb match series with Andrade. And Andrade, he still has his moments. I think that I don't know Andrade. This is not an Andrade video, so I'm not gonna go to bat for Andrade either. So I know some of y'all can, but I'm not. He had a match series with Andrade, fire. Like, the women were carrying, but that match series, they held their own. They were holding it down for the men's division. And that wouldn't have had as much, I think, interest if not for Carmelo Hayes and his cockiness and the way that he was able to portray himself. The whole thing with the LA Knight, adding that into it, also, I think, would have been not as interesting without Carmelo Hayes. And this is no disrespect to anybody and to the people I'm naming in the ring, because I can't do what they do. I can't. I wish I could, but I cannot do what they do. Carmelo Hayes is very skilled. He's very skilled, and this is not like LA Knight. He's solid on his own, but I feel as though in their whole that whole thing that they had going on for the U.S. title, Carmelo Hayes kind of, I'm not gonna say outshined him, but it was as if he was not the rookie in that whole thing. Like, they were all equal. They all were main roster superstars for a very long time in that match, and I would say that it was a missed opportunity not to capitalize on him. And if we're going to do it like, okay, you're not going to have it now, but we're going to have another time for you to have it, I think that momentum, you slow down momentum. And if they really wanted to put him in a good place, they could put him in a good place. For a lot of people that would be in my comments when I would talk about Carmelo Hayes, that whole thing of when I say Lyra or Tiffany and Lyra did not get the crowd reactions that they have now when they first was getting pushed. Now, Tiffany, she had a little tiny, she got it quicker than Lyra, but Lyra didn't get the reaction she has now by her just doing the same thing over again. No. They positioned her in a way where we were able to see her skill and she was able to show out. They don't give that same thing for Carmelo Hayes. They don't do that. So if we really wanted to, they really wanted people to be on board for Carmelo Hayes, trust me, they will be on board because he has everything to make a superstar. As I've said beforehand, when it comes to the ones he was called up with, he had all the makings of a superstar, as if there was like not too much for them to do for him, like at all. Like, there was no excuse to keep him in NXT because he literally had nothing to work on. I don't think he had anything to work on other than experience. Other than experience and knowing how it feels to be on the main roster, that's all. Like, I think that's kind of like the same thing with Naomi. Naomi had everything but the experience, as she would say. And Carmelo, like I could tell you, let me tell you a few things that I could say that the people that he was called up with could worked at and got better at, and that is why we are talking about them in conversations of they've been doing their thing. They've been doing what they need to do now. That is not talking about Kiana James. She got injured way too early. Like, I only remember 2 matches she was ever in. Blair Davenport. Yeah. Let's talk about Braun Breaker. No, let me not. Let's talk lower, and then we're going to bring it back up. Lara Valkyria, I think she was more solid. She just needed to have a connection with the crowd. She didn't have that connection with the crowd yet, and I think the confidence came with the mic working with Becky, Bayley and Becky. That has helped her confidence and helped her on the mic and everything. Tiffany Stratton, I still think mic work. She still needs to work on mics, but again, I'm not a professional. I'm just looking at it as a fan. Her mic work, and I just think a little sharper in the ring. A little sharper. She needs to be a little sharper. Braun Breaker, coming in, he needed a mouthpiece. That's why all y'all was like, let me put him with Paul Heyman. Everybody was saying that because he needed a mic. He needed somebody to connect him with the crowd other than barking. Because after a while, when you're standing in front of somebody like Sami Zayn, Roman Reigns, barking can get you only too far. So when they had brought him with Paul Heyman, I think they finalized the package of superstar because they put an effort. They put an effort for it. Now, this ain't even like, let's talk about it. Roxanne Perez, I understand she was she found herself a good spot because Liv Morgan got injured, but be honest, she got right up into the Judgment Day. Didn't have to wait. Okay. Didn't have to wait at all. Julia belted up. Stephanie, she won a match at Evolution, making history, and has a title opportunity, a women's world title opportunity. Carmelo Hayes ain't even sniffed at a world title opportunity. Not even sniffed. Hasn't had anything. I don't think anything memorable when it comes storyline wise for people to connect with him. Really, I have enjoyed that match series. That was a banger. They didn't capitalize on that. They didn't. They let it fall and they didn't do much with that. Mic skills. Like, that's why when you put him with the Miz, there wasn't much for the Miz to teach him because he already had everything. So that mentorship, it worked for a tad bit because then everybody's like, I feel as though everybody was already like, all right, do he really need the Miz? Would he really take the role of a student to the point where the Miz could do his usual Miz things and manipulate the situation? Not really. Not at all. And the whole Andre the Giant Battle Royale, let's compare to other accolades. Mel ain't sniffing at that. He's not, respectfully. And the comparisons, I get it. You can't compare every superstar. You know, everybody got their own journey. You know, this is a marathon, not a race. It's only a marathon. It's only a marathon for, like, Carmelo. It's only a marathon for a few people. So let's be for real. They usually capitalize on something like this because they want to make money. Yeah. Let's Battle Royale. Let him have that. You know, him winning that, sure, cool, great. What did that do for him? Like, let me know what that did for him. Tell me in the comments, what did that do for Carmelo Hayes? And let's talk about the next thing, the Aleister Black thing. That went to nowhere because what do we do? Like, now Aleister Black is beefing with R-Truth and Damian Priest. And now let's think about the Andre the Giant winners. Ever since Jey Uso, the Andre the Giant winners usually get some sort of spotlight to them. Jey Uso is the biggest, I think, example of that. And biggest example, because now what? IC champion, world champion under his belt. Bobby Lashley, freaking Bobby Lashley. I don't need to. Bronson Reed. Now he's in the main storyline, like literally going against people, putting them out, literally out. That type of thing where he's in spotlight, getting spotlight, and Madcap don't count. But after Jey Uso, usually the Battle Royale winners, something happens for them. It's been months. What's up with Melo? What's up with Melo? I think it's getting disrespectful, and I don't want to say that I want to see him in a different company because I want, like, he'd be able to. I think he'd be able to do great at a different company too, but it's like, why should he have to do something like why is that something that he has to do when there's opportunity there? There's opportunity where he's at. There's moments for him to have for himself. Why is it like? And I'm not gonna disclaimer. I'm not gonna say homeboy got allegations, the Booker got allegations. I ain't gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. I'm just telling our observations and what I'm seeing. What are y'all seeing? Are y'all seeing the same type of reward for effort? You know, we push talent, push effort. Melo has talent. Melo has put in the effort. I think he said something like Shawn Michaels told him because of his height, he's going to have to work harder and be able to say yes when people can't say yes. So that work ethic probably is already there. It's probably always been there. Like, so now he's sitting on the shelf, or he's going to be running in circles doing the same thing over and over again. I truly think that now, since the opportunity is open, the draft is somewhere soon coming up, I think he should get drafted to Raw. Just like with LA Knight, getting drafted to Raw would help him greatly. Since I don't know about Seth Rollins, I'm starting to think Seth Rollins maybe work, but I don't want to call nobody's injuries at work when he's dead serious injured, but it's possible to work. I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know if they want Punk to lose, and I just don't know if they were ready for Gunther to lose too, when they haven't been doing nothing with Gunther. So that is up in the air. But when you have Seth Rollins out, it's opportunity for there to be a turn before they expected to do a turn. And in turn, they work the turn happening by Braun groundbreaker getting somebody that he trusts. Melo. Somebody that's been with him since the NXT days. I think that would be a good way to use him. And in that, he'd be able to shine by having that opportunity to work under somebody like Seth Rollins and have the spotlight of working with in a big storyline. But right now, it's looking annoying. It's getting annoying. Like, don't put us in the same boat as Karrion Kross. Like, we want Kross. Don't put us in the same boat as that. Not saying there's nothing wrong with Karrion Kross, but because I just think Carmelo Hayes just, why do we have to do that? You should see what I'm seeing. You know, I'm not a booker. The booker should see what I'm seeing. But y'all let me know how y'all feel about Carmelo Hayes and his booking as of recently. I understand he was out, he got engaged, congratulations, but Bookie wasn't doing anything else. So that won't really be an excuse for me. Sorry. But y'all let me know how y'all feel. Well, who else somebody y'all think should get pushed and have not been? Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.